Hey everybody, you are looking live on tape at Disney Springs here on Monday, about 6 o'clock. It is super hot out. I'm sitting here by the fountain off the Lime Garage and thought I'd post a video because Disney came out with some really major news today. Folks have been waiting a long time. That's right, annual passes are back for sale starting September 8th. So I had some thoughts about that. Also going to walk around the Springs. It's been a really slow week here in Orlando. At the parks, the crowd levels are super low. So I do have some takes on the new annual pass, the pricing, the blackouts, and more. So I'm glad that you chose to spend your day with us or spend your next few minutes with us as we'll discuss this amongst other things here from Disney Springs. But let's get right to it. We're going to go get us a nice, because nothing goes with 95 degrees like a hot cup of coffee, but I've been working all day, so I'm ready for another cup of joe. But thanks for joining us, and let's get on it. So, it's been a big question in a lot of Facebook groups and forums of when Disney would actually start selling their annual passes again, and today we found out. It's going to be September 8th, as I said previously. And the prices go anywhere from, I believe, $3.99 to $12.99. But a couple interesting takeaways from the announcement. Number one, most of the deals, or in fact all of the lesser than, which I believe is called the Incredible Pass, is geared for either in-state residents or DVC members. As we watch the balloon come down here at the Springs, which, being a Florida resident, I'm not mad about. But an out-of-stater, I definitely would be a little upset, because your only option for an annual pass right now is going to be that Incredible Pass for, I believe it's $12.99. That's $1,299, obviously. But it does come with no blackouts and a couple other things. One, it no longer includes the photo pass. You can add the photo pass for an extra $99. And if you want to add the water parks and sports, which, to this day, unless you have a kid that needs, that has cheer competitions, multiple cheer competitions or baseball or, something to do with ESPN's Wild World of Sports, that includes that for $99 as well. So you get water parks and the sports pack for the top tier, the $12.99, plus $100 for your photo pass and $100 for your water parks and sports, which brings your total to $14.97 if you're out of state. In state, again, there's definitely different tiers you could choose from. The Sorcerer's Pass basically has the month of December, half the month of December blocked out for Christmas and Thanksgiving week, and the rest is wide open. And then the tier below that, you start getting into spring breaks blacked out, and then all the way to I think it's the Pixie Pass for $3.99, which has a ton of blackouts and a ton of different weekends blacked out, and even Mondays following the holiday weekends are blacked out. So a ton of blackouts, but Disney's trying to hit that sweet spot of crowd control plus offering the better packages for the the out-of-state guests and the in-state guests. So we'll talk about that a little more as we walk through the Springs. I definitely need a coffee, like I said. And we do have a musician, looks like he's tuning up over here, getting ready for some live music, which is awesome. Huge fan. So, that being said, let's go get some coffee. So I guess the first question is it worth it? And I guess that really is going to depend on how, what your value is of Disney. If you want to have the flexibility to come into the parks with no blackouts, no restrictions, and enjoy your freedom for that, then it's going to cost you. I mean, that's just nothing new here, right? Nothing to see here. And then for your next step down, paying the $899, $900 a year for a little bit less freedom and a little bit less of the ability to come and go as you please at the Disney parks. I mean, that's really your prerogative. It's kind of hard to say. $900 to me is a lot different than $900 to Elon Musk, or $900 for a rich person, or for someone that has to has the extra money. So I think you go down a slippery slope when you really start saying, well, hey, is that worth it? Because worth is different to everybody. My money's different than yours, but I think it comes always down to a personal decision of, hey, I put a lot of emphasis on this, or I put a lot of my entertainment money into Disney, and then $900 or $1,200 may not be that much to you. For someone like myself who lives in Celebration or in the Orlando area, to me, it's well worth it. To have that freedom, that flexibility to say, hey, you know what? Today I'm off, I'm going to go to Epcot, or today I'm off, I'm going to go ride Rise of the Resistance. So it really is a personal decision. The other piece of this is, it's a numbers game. How frequently are you going to go to Disney World? If you go 1 week a year, would you be better off? That, again, it becomes a matter of, am I going to use it more than this 1 week? Am I going to come, would that entice me to come more than once a year? And if your answer is yes to that, then to me, I think it's worth the splurge because of the discounting they also give you, which is 20% off most retail and food. So keep that in mind as well. That discount also throughout the year will go up. During COVID times, we were getting 40% off for AP holders. Which 40% off, if you're dropping the World of Disney $1,000, it's not, I'm no mathematician, but that's 400 smackers you just saved being an annual pass holder. So again, things to consider. Another thing you might want to, to take the money out of this, if you just look at it as a pure, hey, I love Disney no matter what. I don't want any blackouts. I love the huge crowds that come along with Thanksgiving and spring break. Then it's a no-brainer. You're going to spend the money either way. I know my girlfriend was upset because it's going to be pretty, not a huge amount of money to renew, but a decent enough to where you feel it, and you look at, hey, well, I used to get Photo Pass for free, or those type of perks. I'll say this, I was braced because I thought we were looking at $2,000 a year, honestly, for the Platinum Plus. We used to be called Platinum Plus, now it's called Incredipass. I thought it was going to be $2,000 for in-state, out-of-state, didn't matter, because it is supply and demand. Now, a lot of folks will argue, well, Disneyland is a locals park while Disney World is a tourist park. That's true, but there are a ton, myself included, a ton of local Disney fans that, you know, one of the reasons we chose to live in Orlando was because we love Disney. That's it. You know, we love the parks. We love everything about it. I go to Disney Springs probably once a week. You know, that's a privilege that a lot of people don't have, you know, and I look at it, if I have to pay $800, $900 to be able to go to the parks when I want outside of a couple weeks during Christmas, I'm more than willing to happy to pay it because that's my entertainment, you know. And let's face it, you can have a lot worse habits than Disney, believe me. But, you know, I keep coming back to it's a personal decision, and it really is. It really is a personal decision for you and your family. If it's something that you truly enjoy, it makes you happy, then do it, you know. If it doesn't, if it's just priced, if it's too much, then get a lower tier pass, you know. They gave you great options, especially as a Florida resident. And that's one complaint I'm seeing a lot online, is that there's just not a lot of great options for out of state, and frankly that's true. You know, you're going to pay the $12.99 basically, or the highest tier pass. That's the only one available if you're out of state right now. But keep in mind too, this is an ever-changing item. Yes, and Disney, I promise you this, Disney doesn't do anything willy-nilly. Everything's going to be well researched and thought out. So if you're not happy with it, leave feedback, and I'm sure that, you know, maybe in time they'll change it, you know. But as of right now, this is what we got. Also, I forgot to tell you, Disney World is Halloween is happening in a big way. It is here. That's in the front of World of Disney. You know, I can't come to Disney Springs and not hit World of Disney. But yeah, it's the whole front area now is completely decked out with Halloween merch, so pretty cool. Always like their theming here. Something kind of interesting though, I asked a couple cast members about masks, and this is what they told me to come up here, but very slim pickings on the masks. I mean, we're talking like one little section here. That's all the masks. This little row and this, half of this that's the only mask in World of Disney. Pretty crazy. I have a couple of these, so $20 for these. Used to be buy one get one free, by the way, like 2 weeks ago, but they went back to normal pricing for sure. But slow as Disney Springs is, oh sorry, I'm still working out this gimbal. As slow as Disney Springs is, it's still busy for, of course it might just be that I'm at the front, but pretty surprised about the selection of masks, honestly. I think that's gonna do it for the annual pass discussion. I'm just glad we finally have clarity. They're back, people, they're back. September 8th. And it's kind of apropos as I'm walking directly by the Disney Ticket Center on the day of the announcement that the annual passes will be back. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Hit them in the comments below. Let us know how much is too much. Are you willing to pay it? Anxious to hear. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We'll see you real soon.